Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Carl from Sovereign Citizen Chronicles. Today, we're going to be doing a compilation with Judge Kristen Simmons out of the state of Michigan. All right, so the first three proceedings is going to be a sovereign citizen case. It's going to be a throwback, and then the last proceeding is going to be a new case that's going to involve a landlord-tenant dispute. I will have timestamps in the description below the video. All right, so with that being said, let's get to it.
Okay, and on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Rambo L, file numbers 22L2761882, 881, 883. Council appearance, please.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Okay, and then Rambo L is present. Do you have an attorney, sir?
I'm here by special appearance.
Okay. Mr. Staples, my understanding is that you're moving to dismiss these.
Just the failure to display ops, Your Honor. I did check the Secretary of State. His license is valid, and he did show me that license, and that he does have it in his possession, so that the misdemeanor charge would be dismissed.
Okay, and there's no offer on the expired plate and the failed signal?
Not at this time, Your Honor. I believe
Okay.
Mr. L is planning on contesting those charges.
Is that correct, Mr. L?
Yes.
Okay, we'll set them for a hearing. February 14th at 9:30. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, Mr. L. We'll see you on February 14th. Okay, is this L Rambo or Rambo L? You're muted. You have an attorney, sir?
No, I'm here by special appearance.
Okay, I'll put you in the private meeting room with the city attorney.
Your Honor, we've actually already met with Mr. Rambo L before. He was requesting a formal hearing on these two files.
Okay, sounds good. Formal hearings will be set for in-person appearance.
Actually, I filed a motion January 6th. This is when it went unanswered. I would like the court to dismiss this matter.
Okay, your motion to dismiss is denied.
How many days does the prosecutor have to answer my motion for demand for motion for challenge of jurisdiction that I submitted to the clerk, and I've served everybody, all parties. How long does he have? Because that happened January 6th.
I see it's a motion to show authority.
And also a demand for dismissal, lack of jurisdiction, failure to introduce evidence of an injury in fact, challenges jurisdiction of the court to prosecute. That was filed January 6th.
We only have one motion attached to the file. I don't see the other motions that you're referencing, sir.
It's timestamped by the court. I have it right here.
I see a motion to show authority, which the court has denied. And then there was a memo that was attached. There was not any other motion. I don't read via Zoom.
It's filed with the clerk. Everybody was served.
Mr. Staples, did you get a copy of the motion he's referencing?
I see a copy of the motion to show authority in our file. I don't recognize it as any sort of valid motion or pleadings, but I see a copy of it in our file.
Agreed. That's the same the court has. It's a motion to show authority. The other motions that he's referencing was not properly filed with this court or served as the court. Neither the court nor Mr. Staples' office is in receipt of it. The motion to show authority was denied. Is not in proportion with the Michigan court rules. It does cite, however, Luke 11:46, the King James version, Luke 11:52, as well as some other articles and treaties. But nonetheless, as indicated by Mr. Staples from the Office of City Attorney, this is not a lawful or appropriately filed motion And for that reason, it was denied before this court. But we will
Well,
set your matter.
I like to challenge jurisdiction right now. I have the
You
right
can
to
file an
travel.
appropriate motion with the court under the Michigan court rules to challenge jurisdiction. But what we won't do is entertain motions under the King James Version of the Bible, okay?
That was a different motion you're referring to. That was the motion to show authority.
We don't have the other motion, sir. So you can file that motion. It's just, we don't have it. I don't know why we only have one motion, that we don't have the other one you're referencing. So you'd have to file that and serve it on the city attorney. We'll give you time to do that. I'm gonna set both of these matters for hearing though.
I can't you telling me I don't have the right to challenge jurisdiction right now? I want to challenge jurisdiction right now.
You can file a motion for challenging the jurisdiction, sir.
I can't do a verbal motion?
No, you cannot.
So you telling me I have a right to do a verbal motion?
You don't have a right to do that. You're gonna file it in writing and you're gonna serve it properly on the parties that you're filing it against, okay, sir? March 14th at 10:30 in person at the court will be the date for the formal hearing, and then we'll hear any arguments on motions if necessary. You have any questions today, Mr. L? Okay, you can have a seat. Thank you. Today's the date and time set for a formal hearing. I have, I believe, one witness on Zoom. Counsel, you can proceed.
Officer Vanderwerf, would you state your name for the records,
Oh,
please?
you want to call him? Let me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Swear, man, no worries. Vanderwerf, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Judge. So I was traveling southbound on King when I observed a pickup truck in front of me that was changing lanes, failing to use its signal. So at that time, I activated my overhead lights on the vehicle to initiate a traffic stop. And then I made contact with the driver, who was later identified as a Rambo L. In our contact, he ended up handing me a piece of paper. At brief glance, when I looked at the piece of paper, it appeared to have what I believe was certain MCL codes that the subject may have typed onto the piece of paper. When I had asked him for a driver's license or identification, he was not really very cooperative. I also don't believe I was provided any insurance. At that time, I decided to issue him a citation for failing to signal, changing lanes, and failing to display a valid license, and then also the license plate through the system was expired.
Mr. L, did you want to question the witness?
Yes. The document that you were referring to, it was a travel document. I was showing you, I was traveling versus driving, and I tried to explain that to you. And then you held me on the side of the road for approximately an hour. I requested a supervisor because they might better understand what I was doing, and you never provided that for me. Is that correct?
That's actually incorrect, because the reason that you were held on the stop for as long as you were is because I was waiting for a supervisor. So when I realized the supervisor was not there, I contacted him by phone, at which time he said he was delayed. And when I came back up to the traffic stop, I did ask if you wanted to wait further for a sergeant, and I don't believe that you did. And then you drove off when you were free to go.
Yes. Is it correct that I was held on the road for approximately an hour waiting for this whole encounter to end?
I do not remember if it was an hour specifically, but I do remember that the time length was probably, I would say probably close to that at the very least.
Well, it was an hour, and it caused me to be late for my son's banquet. And and I never got to speak to a supervisor. That's all the questions I had.
Okay, any redirects?
No redirect, Your Honor.
Okay, any additional witnesses today?
None from the city.
Okay, Mr. L, are you calling any witnesses today, or did you want to give your own testimony?
I would like to, I have I have a defense, my motion.
Okay, well, you filed a motion?
Yeah, I filed a motion, served the
When did
city
you file a
attorney.
motion?
It was filed, it was mailed February 18th.
You filed a motion and mailed it February 18th. Did you serve a copy?
To the clerk of the courts and also to the city attorney's office.
Did you receive any motion, sir?
Your Honor, we did receive a motion. It did not have any hearing date stated on it. We had no timetable for a response. I would be happy to respond to the motion on the record orally or provide the court with briefing if they would like.
The court didn't get a copy of the motion in February.
I sent it to the clerk. And,
Yeah, typically when that happens, it's just attached to the file. I don't have a copy of any motion.
Well, I did my due diligence. I sent a copy to him. He has his.
Well, I don't know that you did your due diligence because when you file a motion, you got to get a hearing date for that motion. And so
who's supposed to give me a hearing?
you got to get the hearing date from the clerk's office.
From the clerk's office?
Yeah.
So why did they give me one?
Did you contact them for a hearing date?
I contacted them, yeah.
And asked for
And I
a hearing
asked
date
them,
for your
and
motion?
I asked them when was my hearing. They confirmed that it was today.
For your motion.
And I asked, did I have a hearing date? And they
But-
said,
And you do have a hearing date, but that's not what I asked you. Did you ask them, did you have a hearing date for your motion?
for my motion,
Yes.
they didn't tell me, but I did provide to him an order for the motion that gave him 21 days to respond.
Okay, you can make your motion before the court because I don't have a copy. You can make it now orally.
Okay, well, now comes the beneficiary for Rambo L, defendant in error, here by special appearance, not submitting to the court's jurisdiction, hereby moves the court to strike and dismiss the complaint filed by the officer Zenderbar. Am I pronouncing that right? Sorry if I'm not. For lack of ratification and commencement, no corpus delicti, no plaintiff, lack of jurisdiction, personal or firm jurisdiction. Kristen Simmons being appointed as trustee, the prosecutors being appointed as co-trustee, I, Rambo L, an executor and beneficiary of a set of account. Also, I filed a declaration of non-citizenship nationality because I've done a name change. Where my point of authorities are the United States District of Columbia Corporation in Volume 20, Corpus Juris Section 1785, we find United States government as a foreign corporations with respect to the states. Since the corporation is fictitious, is a fictitious person, it can't see, speak, smell, or touch itself. It's a fiction in the real world. It needs a conducting, transmitting utility, a liaison, some sort of connection to a fictional person. Constitutional Amendment number 1, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of a religion, prohibiting free exercise thereof, abridging freedom of speech or right of press or right of people, peaceful assemble, petition the government for redress of grievance. Number 5, Constitutional Amendment. The right of people should be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effect against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued upon probable cause supported by an oath or affirmation, particularly describing the place search of persons, things to be seized. And then number 7, Constitutional Amendment, suits at common law where value of controversy exceeding $20, the right of a jury trial shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States according to the rules of common law. I asked for a jury trial, I didn't get that. Rambo L is a man, people, but not a person. I was not operating in commerce, nor was I a driver on the road for travel. A driver is an employee transporting goods or passengers. Rambo was just merely traveling in my private property. Here are some examples of my Supreme Court constitutional defenses. Number 1, case number 1, the right to travel is part of a liberty where citizen cannot be deprived of due process under the 5th Amendment, Kent versus Duels, 357 U.S. 116, 125. Case number 2, I have the right to travel freely and unencumbered pursuant to Shapiro versus Thomas, 394 USP 618. That right is so basic, it doesn't even need to be mentioned. The state of Michigan arbitrarily and erroneously perverted my right into a privilege and issue a license and a fee for it. Murdoch versus Pennsylvania, 319 US 105. Supreme Court trumps everything, says that no state can convert a secured liberty into a privilege and issue a license and fee for it. Case number 4, Shuttle versus Birmingham, Alabama. It shows that I can ignore a license and engage in the right with immunity. Case number 5, Marbury versus Madison, 5 US 137, shows that any law in violation of the Constitution is null and void. Case number 6, Shuttleworth versus Birmingham, 373 US 262, says I may ignore the license and the fee and engage with the right with immunity. That means you can't punish me. And United States versus Bishop defines willfulness as an evil motive or intent to avoid a known duty, task under the law, with a morality certain. I submit I couldn't have been doing an evil task. I totally followed the Constitution in the Supreme Court. Bryers versus United States says it shows how the judge is supposed to interpret the Constitution, and it's supposed to be interpreted in the favor of me. A.M. Jurisprudence, Volume 16, Section 97 of the Constitutional Law section says it should be received as a liberal interpretation in favor of the citizen, especially true with respect to those who were designated to safeguard the liberty and security of the citizen in regards to both persons and property. See note 31, Bryers versus United States. No state may convert a liberty into a privilege. Murdoch versus Pennsylvania. An appearance ticket is not accusatory instrument. It doesn't confer jurisdiction over the defendant. People versus Gabay, 670 New York 2D 92517. I was not engaged in a commercial trade at the time of the alleged infraction, and I do not proceed to say a license is upon a constitutional detention. Motor vehicle means every description of a carrier drawn by mechanical power used in commercial purposes on a highway. There's neither injury nor trespasses, any trespasses. All crimes are commercial, 27 CFR 72.11, and every alleged crime has to have a nature and cause and be prosecuted by the name of the people of the state. I don't have a contract with the state. I don't see an injured party. I don't know why I'm here.
Any additional argument on your motion?
I would like the court, I would ask the court to dismiss this to failure to state a claim where relief can be granted.
The court has heard the argument. I'm first address your motion, Mr. L, and I'm going to deny your motion as clearly indicated in the response by the city. Your claims would be most appropriately brought before the Court of Claims, and so you can't challenge a constitutional issue in this court, okay? As it relates to the authority and the process to bring this matter before the district court as it relates to your civil infractions, you have an expired plate and a failure to signal. Again, a jurisdiction or venue before this court is appropriate. This is a situation or incident that occurred in the area of South MLK, Martin Luther King Boulevard. That's in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan. And so you're subject to the laws and the ordinances of the city of Lansing, but also the laws under the Michigan compiled laws. Here in this district court, we are subject to the Michigan court rules. And so, although I gave leniency with your motion, it was not properly filed and or served. But it also does not comport with the Michigan compiled laws or Michigan court rules. And so for those reasons, it is denied. Now, as to the civil infraction, failed to signal and expired plate from December 3rd, 2022. We did not provide any valid dispute or defense to these civil infractions. You could have appeared and showed information that demonstrated you did have a valid plate at the time, or that you even have one now, which could reduce the citation, but that's not taking place. And so I'm going to sustain both violations of civil infractions. There's a fine of $125 on each. Okay, sir?
My next defense, so am this done, or can I say something else?
You can say something else. I asked you if you had any further defense, but you said.
My next defense would be, Michigan allows 72 hours to register any vehicle when it's first purchased. He never asked for anything. I never got a chance to explain myself on the side of the road.
Okay, do you have proof that you had just purchased it within 72 hours?
I don't have the title.
Okay, thank you, sir. If the defense is not meaningful, if you can't provide any evidence to support that defense. That being said, your fine is $125 on each file. When do you intend to make payment?
Do I have a chance to appeal this?
You can.
I would like to appeal.
Okay, you want to file an appeal as the civil infraction?
I want to file an appeal today.
Okay, you can file a motion for reconsideration. But you need to follow Michigan court rules, okay? We don't submit to the sovereign rules, okay? This is, you take that to the sovereign court. Your name, sir?
John Douglas, ma'am.
Your name?
Christopher S. Chastain.
Okay, today was the day scheduled for hearing for non-payment of rent. Did you all undergo a mediation?
We talked, we didn't come to agreement, Your Honor.
Okay, this is for non-payment of rent, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And how much do you believe that they owe?
It's another month now, so it's about 3,700.
Not about, so this is court. How much do they owe?
3,700.
How much is their monthly rent?
1,200.
Last time they made payment?
August.
You agree your rent is $1,200 per month?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you believe you have a lawful reason why you haven't paid?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's the lawful reason?
Honor, I paid first and last month's rent and a security deposit. My initial lease with Mr. Douglas on October 1st of 2024. I signed a 6-month agreement for a lease. After the 6 months, my power of attorney, my daughter, who was also my counsel, I requested, as I continue to pay April, May, we got to June, I asked her to contact Mr. Douglas to see where we were going with the lease, assuming that my other 6 months of my original year would be, talked about or settled. He presented at that time a June lease for 1 year. I amended it once I received it to show that I would prefer to have it to complete my 6 months, which would end at 8/30/2025, with September being the last month rent that I prepaid in October of 2024. And this is why we stand before the court today.
You signed the lease and you moved in, you said in October 2024?
October 2024.
Your rent was $1,200 a month?
$1,200 a
The
month.
lease was for 6 months?
Correct.
You were supposed to, the lease ended when?
It would have ended March 30th. I believe that would be the 6-month period of 2025.
When it ended, did you move out?
No, I did not.
Okay, so then you went become month to month, correct?
That is correct, Your
And you
Honor.
paid your rent every month?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and then in June, you got a new lease presented to you.
In June, I had a lease presented to me through my power of attorney who represented me.
I don't
You understand?
I recognize you have a power of attorney, but they don't represent you in this court, so I'm asking you a
Correct.
question. You got a lease from him for, in June to re-sign a new lease for 1 year,
Correct.
from June to June?
From June 2025 to June 2026, correct?
Okay, but you didn't want to do another year, you wanted to do 6 months.
I wanted to complete my 6 months. That is correct, Your Honor.
Well, I don't know what you mean complete 6 months, because you didn't have your month to month at this point.
Correct,
You wanted to, instead of having a year lease, you wanted to enter into a new 6-month lease. Correct?
correct.
Okay, and you altered or changed the terms of the lease and sent it back to him to agree to?
Correct.
And did he agree to it?
He presents now to court that original lease, that lease he, I can't say.
Where's the lease that you signed that for 6 months?
This is my original lease that I.
The original lease that you signed in 2024 is what you're talking about?
2025, if that's what you're asking for.
No, I want to know about the 6 months lease or the lease that he sent you this year in June. Do you have a copy of that lease, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Your Honor.
You may.
Your Honor.
Okay, so I have here what it says, it looks like a lease between Christopher Chastain and Christopher Chastain the second or junior?
Junior, yes, ma'am.
correct?
Excuse me.
Okay,
Junior, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
got it. Was the rent raised to $12.30 or is this $12.50? Is that what this says?
The rent is $12.50, but if you pay on time on the first, I only charge you $1,200.
Oh, I see. It's the discount of $50.
It's discounted $50.
Okay, so it says 6/1/2025 to 6/30/2026, 12 months. It looks like we acknowledge the sum of $1,200 for a security deposit, other terms and conditions, and it says that it was signed by you. What date did you sign this, sir?
I signed it on June 1st.
Okay, and then after you signed it, you sent it to him?
Yes,
Okay, so you were not present when he signed it?
no,
What did you receive back from him?
I got it. His daughter sent it to me.
What did you receive back? Because I don't believe it was this one.
That lease
I
there,
don't, I believe you got
that
this
page
sheet.
right there. I just sent her.
I believe you got this page. I don't believe you got these other ones. I believe that he changed it. What did you get back?
I don't understand what you mean.
He said that he changed the dates. Let me see what he has. To make it 6 months. So he changed the dates on here supposedly to make it 6 months so that it will go from June 1st. This is not 6 months though, to September 30th.
I didn't give him permission to change those dates.
I didn't get into that.
Okay,
I'm just
sorry.
asking you what you received back.
apologize.
Yeah,
I
I'm asking,
apologize,
what
Your
did you receive back from him?
I received back for the year. But only thing, see, Your Honor, all I did just sent him the last page. I told him to keep the first page from the year before. So the only thing I sent him just the last page of the lease to sign it and mail it back to me.
Oh, okay, is that correct?
Would you repeat that, Mr. Douglas?
He only sent you the last page to re-sign. He didn't send you.
I gave it to his daughter, Your Honor. Excuse me, I gave it to his daughter.
Oh, so you're negotiating this with his daughter?
The lease?
Correct, you gave it to his daughter?
Yeah, because I would never call him. He never talks on the phone. I never
Okay.
get him on the
But I'm
phone.
just asking you a question. I didn't
Yes,
ask you
ma'am.
why.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you were dealing with the daughter. You sent her the last page and said to,
Have him and his son sign it.
okay, why would you not send them the other pages? Because
Because they already had the other pages. So I
They
just,
couldn't have the other pages that had June 1st through June 2026 if it's a new lease.
well, I must have sent him the whole lease then. I mean, because
Doesn't sound like you know what you sent them. What's the daughter's name?
Tara. Your
Tara,
Honor.
she's got to come up now. You can stand right there, ma'am. No, you can stand right next to your dad, I mean. Okay, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
I affirm.
Thank you. You're familiar with the landlord, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so he sent you a lease on behalf of your father?
Correct. He hand delivered it to me on the premises.
Was it one page or a full page?
He gave me one full lease and then an additional lease of the first page and the last page that had 4 John. So that was what I was to give back to him, with the first page and the last.
Okay, and so the lease was signed and sent back to him?
Correct. After we amended it.
Okay, you amended it based off what?
Based off, we had a 6-month lease from October to, well, it was a 7-month lease, the way he wrote it, till it ended on
Wait, who wrote it?
4/30. Oh, I had the original lease as well.
The way who wrote it?
The landlord, the plaintiff.
Okay, the original lease is what you're talking
Right,
about?
that we entered into October 2024.
Okay, so there was a 7-month lease that
Right.
expired in June?
So it expired April 30th.
April 30th,
Yes.
okay. And so then June is when you're getting the new lease?
Correct.
And so when that lease came, the terms that he put on there was for 1 year.
Correct. 13.
But you and or your father changed it?
Correct. So
Did you notify him or get his permission to change it?
Yes.
When?
When he hand delivered the lease to me, he was coming to cut the grass. I was going to pay him the rent. And as I was explaining, the reason why we wanted it to end in on September 30th, 2025. So it would be 2 6-month leases. So it would be more punctual and consecutive. He interrupted me and said he signed off on whatever I put down. So I was explaining it. I'm like, as I started to explain it, he was getting ready to cut the grass. So I presumed he was in a rush. He said, whatever you put down, I'll sign off on it.
So essentially, your position or your father's position is that you wanted the lease to end on the 30th.
Correct.
Of September.
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Why hasn't the rent been paid, or has the rent been paid since August?
So the initial October 2024 lease, we paid first month rent and last month rent and security deposit. And my father vacated September 17th, 2025.
Oh, he vacated
So,
September.
yeah, so I have all the payment records showing that we paid first month rent, last month rent.
And where is Mr. Chastain's the second or junior? He's still in the property?
Yes. It was our understanding that his matter is a separate matter. He failed to show up at the pre-trial.
No, that's not what I'm talking about
Okay,
here.
got it.
I'm talking about the whole concept that your father vacated, and so thereby he's somehow not responsible. Did they both vacate in September?
No, just my father.
But they're both on this lease, correct?
Correct. My father is listed as a tenant and my brother, to my knowledge, is an occupant, an additional occupant.
And why didn't the brother vacate when the father vacated?
At that time, my brother was in contact, to the best of my knowledge, with the plaintiff. And the plaintiff stated that if he paid September rent, then my brother could stay. But since there was a dispute about September rent, since my dad vacated, we wanted to resolve September rent. And
got it, okay.
Yeah.
And so your property is still occupied by Junior?
I haven't been back over it because I didn't know when the man served his son. He said his son was very angry. He was saying bad things about me. So he said that you probably don't need to go over there. You just stay away from over there and wait till you go back to the court. But Your Honor, I got something that I wanted you to see that she texted me about this rent situation.
Okay, the son was served
They got
in September?
Son was served and the son gave it to the dad, but the dad wasn't there.
That's not my question.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
The son was served in September?
Yeah. No, here's my paperwork. I'm not good at court stuff, Your Honor. He was served right here.
September 18th?
Yeah,
It said that you delivered it to him personally.
me? I had a guy
Is your
serve me.
name John Douglas?
Yes, ma'am.
You signed this proof of service.
Yes, I did.
It said you served him I personally delivered it. You signed this.
Yeah, I did the first time I did.
So what are you talking about his son? This said on the 18th, you served his son on
Yes.
So what do you mean somebody told you that he was upset?
Then after that, then when the court went to have them for the eviction thing, the guy went to give him the eviction notice. He was the one that gave him the paperwork to
What
come
eviction notice?
to come to court. When you get him served, to come to court.
That was when you served the demand for possession, or are you talking about there's another proof of service?
This guy on here served him with the paperwork right here.
Okay, so someone else served the summons, and that's the person who told you that the son was upset.
Yes.
So you knew then that Senior was no longer in the.
I didn't know where he was because I've been trying to talk to this man for 2 months and they would never let me talk to him.
Okay.
I didn't know where this man was.
Okay, and did you ever have an agreement with the brother, with the son
No,
about him
never.
staying in the property?
Nothing, never said anything
Okay,
to him.
what is the text messages that you want to share? Did you show them to the other party?
I showed them to him when we was here the other day.
Okay. And so what are these?
It's about the rent,
Tell me what I'm supposed to be reading.
she sent me a text and said, well, we changed our mind, we want to stay here for a year. I said, okay. She said, send me another lease. I said, you don't have to, I don't need to send you another lease. Just take the one you got and put the date back to where it was. You see what it says? She said she wanted to stay for a year until June. Because originally I told her I don't do 4-month lease. The last lease I would give you would be 6 months. Can I say something, Jan?
Give me a moment.
Okay.
Okay, I have what purports to be a message. You're Tara, correct? Correct. It says amend the Highland Street lease to 1-year lease and mail us a copy. Thank you, Tara. He responds. That was on July 9th. Looks like there was the next communication wasn't until August 2nd. August 2025 rent for Highland in the mail. And it says T. Chastain, which I'm assuming is you, Tara Chastain. Right. Then on August 3rd, he responds, I'm assuming is Mr. John.
I talked to the phone.
Dan?
Yeah, that's John Douglas.
Got it.
I talked to the phone.
Hello, Tara. This is John Dan. How do you change that lease from before? Just take the dates and change it back, and I'll change my dates. We don't need a new lease. Thank you. Goodbye. Your response sounds like a plan. Have a wonderful day. Why are we here?
My dad vacated in September.
But you agreed to a lease for a year.
So I did so under duress, Your Honor, because at this point.
Judgment in favor of the plaintiff. There was no duress.
Well, September.
There's all kinds of flower emojis, smiley faces, flower emoji, sunshine. No duress.
What about September rent was already paid?
No duress.
Can we say September?
All I know is that you agreed to a lease. First of all,
there was no meeting.
First of all, you don't have a right to change a document that was signed by the landlord without their permission. That's not how contract.
Gave permission.
That's not what he said, and I don't have anything here that would corroborate that. Not only that, his text message on August 3rd is pretty much, how did you change it in the first place? He was not made aware. When you enter into a contract after someone has signed it, you don't get to change it and then expect them to have knowledge that you've changed terms. The other thing is, I don't know the nature of this power of attorney situation that you got going on, or why he has a power of attorney, because it sounds like he can handle his affairs on his own, is what it appears to me. But this creates additional layers of confusion. The other thing is, the lease is not just for Mr. Chastain, it's for him and Junior. So he can't just vacate and leave his occupant there. That means he's still holding possession of the property. I don't see anything that there was a new lease. I don't see anything that there's a new text message where we know, or communication where we notified the landlord, we're vacating, and per your agreement with Junior, you all can move forward. I don't have anything.
I have something.
You have what?
We did send a notice of intent to vacate in August, and also sent a response to his demand for possession and non-payment of rent. I sent a response to him stating that if he chooses to continue with Chris Jr., it will be under the terms of a new lease. The only reason Chris Jr. stayed in the premises is because Chris Jr. was under the impression verbal.
You can't speak on behalf of Chris Jr. He had to be here to speak on his own behalf.
But I do have a notice of intent to vacate that was dated August.
That you said after you said that you wanted a lease for 1 year.
Yeah, it's dated August 29th, correct. And then the
You
response.
can't break your lease. Sure, you can't ask for your lease for 1 year and then break it. And you were presented a lease for 1 year. You don't get to, the tenant doesn't get to decide, well, I'm gonna do a lease for 4 months instead. That's not how this works. If you want that level of control, you need to be a homeowner.
Even if it was, we gave them a verbal notice that like we had the intention of vacating in September and we did, or my dad did.
I don't know what you mean.
And also there was.
You mean that when you were presented with the lease, you had intentions of vacating?
Right, when he presented.
What are you pointing to, sir?
It says you must give me a written notice, 30-day notice in writing.
I did.
Okay.
But can I say something?
So wait a minute. So I'm trying to clarify what she's saying. What you're saying is that when your father was presented the new 1 year lease, you're saying that there was plans for him to vacate in September?
Correct.
So why would you send a text message in July to say, we'll take a 1 year lease, mail us a copy, thank you, smiley face?
Because he sent me a voicemail saying he couldn't do the format, he rejected the lease that I presented to him. So at that point, I'm like, okay, he didn't remember saying I could sign off on anything. And
if he rejected the lease, then that means you're still month to month and you could put your notice in.
Yeah,
but the problem is you now ask for 1 year.
But my dad didn't. Sorry, go ahead.
May I clarify?
It can't be I'm the power of attorney and then now my dad did. You can't do that.
Well, I'm saying it wasn't a meeting of the minds. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I apologize.
Yes, sir.
For clarity purposes, why it was worded that way, 6 months original, and another 6 months was the year, which was trying to be.
I'm completely clear on what you wanted, sir. I'm completely clear. What I'm saying is when he presented you a new 1 year lease from June to June, neither you nor your daughter have the authority to alter the terms of that lease. What I have here that your daughter has presented, there's whiteout all over this, okay? This is the original. Where did you send him?
It's not my writing, man.
No. What did you send him? Because this is the original.
Yeah, I amended it.
Yeah, but what did you send him then?
I sent, he gave me an extra copy of the first and last page, so I amended both documents.
Oh, yeah, and sent it back.
Yeah.
And so his communication that I have here is he wants to know, how did you change the lease dates in the first place? He doesn't agree that he gave you authority to amend and do that. And you wouldn't have authority to do that.
Okay.
And so if you wanted to negotiate a new lease, then that's fine. He would need to sign off that he's okay with amending this. I've never heard of a 4-month lease. And so you were month to month. You don't get to now.
We could have stayed month to month.
You could have stayed month to month.
Okay.
Or you can enter into a new lease agreement.
I did ask
You tried to enter into a 4-month agreement. He rejected, and your response was, okay, we'll take a 1 year lease.
I did ask him if he
could have stayed month to month.
I did ask him that at the time, and he said, put down whatever you want, and I signed off on it.
He doesn't agree that happened.
I even in after the original lease of October, I sent him a addendum to renew the lease, stating that we wanted a month-to-month lease.
Well, you were already month-to-month then.
Okay.
And you could have stayed month-to-month. You could have communicated, we want to maintain month-to-month because we want to move out September 30th.
Yeah.
So I apologize.
Yes.
So I had the right to continue the month-to-month and not have to inquire his preferences of year or 6 months. That's where this confusion came.
Well, I don't know if that was necessarily his preference because you had been living there for a couple months without a lease. You were already month to month. It sounds like you wanted a new lease.
I inquired for him his preference of year or 6 months. I hadn't heard from him.
He said he hasn't heard from you. So there's obviously a communication breakdown, and then you have your daughter sometimes handling your business.
Well, for this property, yes, I do at all times. So,
well, then you can't, when you're saying you inquire, I don't know if that means you reached out to him directly or if your daughter, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I asked her to reach out because I was confused as to where we were at, not thinking he would allow month to month, which I was paying because the 6 months had expired. First month's rent last month's rent, and a security deposit.
Okay,
And
and he was
original.
allowing it. I don't know.
So,
He's represented in this court that you all were friends long before this, I'm assuming. And so maybe he would have allowed you to do month to month to September. I don't know. That's not for me to decide. What I do know is that we have a situation where a lease that was altered after he signed it, and you can't do that. And then I have some communication where you, and I don't have anything prior to that where it's, you know, it tells me that you all were talking before this. I just have where you request very nicely to amend the lease to 1 year. And his response is amend the lease. Like, I never changed. How did you change it in the first place? Just go back to the original and fix it back.
I thought we had to be in the lease, which is why I responded. I didn't know we had the option.
Either way, you said it sounds like a wonderful plan. You did not appear to be in any duress. And then your father has maintained this property and then left his occupant in that property. And you say you sent a notice of intent to vacate?
Mm-hmm.
When did you send that?
August 29th.
Did you receive that?
Yes, ma'am. Can I say something?
Yes.
I didn't get to know, she sent it on, but I didn't get to like the 6th and 7th that next month. You got to get it on the 1st because I got to give 30 days. She sent it after the 1st. She should have sent it. She might have mailed it on the 29th, but it has to be to me by the 1st, ma'am. It does, young lady. You're a beautiful young lady.
Sir, that's not appropriate. Okay, so you received the notice that of his intent to vacate. Let's see, tenant, senior. It only says senior. I don't know why we're not addressing your brother in this. For some reason, you believe that there was, and you said there was another communication about your brother.
Oh yeah, when he presented the demand for possession,
Which was after this.
yeah, I responded, and to my understanding that agreement, you know, we were making an agreement. He gave me verbal punishments. I didn't get it in writing that I could, you know, amend the lease to our preferences. So when we got the notice of demand for possession, we was confused. And so my brother did want to stay, and to our understanding, I just responded to that. Said, you know, that my dad off this lease and come to a new lease agreement with my brother so we can start in October. Last September be my dad's last month, which we prepaid the last month.
That sounds like negotiations that you were trying to do after the eviction was started, which could have happened. Your brother never came to court.
Yeah.
He's still on the property. I don't even know where he is.
Is he still there? I don't know. I ain't been over there.
Well, at this point, you could have defaulted him a long time ago because he failed to appear.
Well, you know, we grew up, I consider him like my family still. And I didn't want to put I didn't know if his son had anywhere to go. I didn't want to put that man out on the street until we got this straight.
Well, you consider him like your family. You want to put an eviction on his record still?
Didn't get my money.
We gave him September, and I do have evidence of September. So October would be the new, in my opinion, October will be what's in question. If my brother is still in the property.
The brother's still in the property, we think.
Well, I'm gonna have to do the next step to get him out then. If they don't, let's say want to start paying my money and stay, I don't care.
Okay, all right. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. The default is entered, so you can, when was it entered? The first free trial. Yeah, so you can get a judgment so that you can have the brother removed at this point for his failure to appear in court. And then there was a file for money judgment. I have to in here.
Can I say something else to you?
Give me just a minute. Okay, there was a money judgment filed. Yes.
I was calling her dad one time to try to get him on the phone, and he didn't answer. So me and my girlfriend said, I know you're monitoring your dad's phone, and she texted me back. And then she gave me this big, long text on my, well, you can let my brother move in. He gets Section 8, he get $800 a month. Maybe you should drop your rent to let him stay here.
Okay, what evidentiary value is this story for me, sir?
It's on my phone.
No, I'm trying to figure out what you want me to do with it because I've already given judgment.
Because I feel like she just abandoned her brother and kicked him to the curb. I just left him.
She abandoned her brother?
Just left. She know he can't. He can't afford that building.
Why is she responsible?
I feel like she took her dad from her brother and took him out of the house.
She took her dad from her brother.
That's how I feel. I might be wrong.
How old is this young man?
He's 40.
Yeah, 40 something.
Judgment in favor of the plaintiff.
So
we're not responsible for our grown brothers.
So is this a judgment against my dad?
There's a judgment
For
against
September rent or
that for, exactly, because the rent has not been paid.
September was prepaid. I have
There, there's first class and security that you
Right.
received.
Right.
And you acknowledge it in there, but it's now November. That's the issue.
Okay. So it's for October rent.
October and now November.
So it's two judgments, one against my brother.
He's already been defaulted,
Right.
correct. And now there's a judgment against him. Money judgment is a little bit different,
Okay.
because the brother is still occupying the property. He did move out in September. And you have a new lease, sir?
Yes.
Do you have proof of this new lease?
Digitally, you have it with me?
Visually, yes.
Digitally, Your Honor. But we
It's
can present it paperwork after court.
If you have, I would like to see the copy of the new lease. Just to ensure that you have.
Apologize, Your Honor.
No worries.
What about the utilities? Did you bring?
You can have some time to look through what
Okay.
you need. I'll take the next case,
All
okay?
right, thank you.
No problem. Okay, this is Aspen Flats versus Sherry Armstrong and any occupants, 25-06282, appearance please.
All right, y'all. So we come to the end of the video. Not really going to be doing any commentary to this, but like I will say, I do like how Kristen Simmons handles her courtroom. All right. So with that being said, I just want to thank you for watching. Give a thumbs up to the video so you let YouTube know that you like this content. Also hit that notification bell so you get notified when I upload more videos like this. And definitely subscribe to the channel. All right. So this is Carl from Sovereign Citizen Chronicles. I catch you on the next video. God bless. Peace.